Hey, Cass.
Hey,
What is today?
last day of the convention.
Last day at the convention. How emotional. Can you believe it?
Oh. Can you?
No. I don't want it to end.
I know.
I want it to go on for a whole week.
Halloween ends.
Yeah. This has been incredible. John Carpenter's going to be here today at the panel. I can't believe it. I'm excited for all the panels that are going to be for today. After party last night was amazing. The whole day yesterday, all the people we met, all the celebs. Friday with the bus tour. I mean, I don't feel like there's been a dull moment. It's been exciting, everything we've been doing. And I can't wait for today, last day at the convention. But I hope that we'll be back in 5 years
Yep.
and do this again, because this is awesome.
Yep.
Fucking awesome.
Alright, we'll see you in 5
Love
years.
you.
Love you too.
Alright, so this is, we're on our way to the convention. Are you excited? Last day of the convention. There's the mountains back there.
How you feel?
Excited.
Good.
Don't want the convention to end, but
I know.
all good things come to an end. Alright, Cass, where are we? Halloween 4 panel. Are you excited?
Oh yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yep. Oh my god.
Are you coming in or what?
I love you, Kathleen.
You've commandeered my panel. Yeah, if you would like to come up, please. Yes. So, everybody, welcome to the H4 and H5 panel. And sir, thank you, Kathleen Kinmont and Sasha Dixon. And to conclude our panel, Mr. Tom Morgan. Don Chase. Matt Walker. And Jeffrey Landman.
Yeah. Danielle, come
I guess not.
Damn.
And you'll have to share mics, my apologies. Share a microphone, that'll be good. All right, well everyone, I want to give the crowd opportunities to ask questions because I know Kathleen is on a tight schedule, so we'll just start filling in these glasses.
My question is, you guys have any cool stories like working on set with Donald Pleasant?
Good question.
The night I wrecked the car, Halloween 5. Wrecked the car, you know, everything's doing good, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they had wrapped me for the night, and Donald came by my dressing room and he said, "Could I ask a favor of you?" I go, "Sure." He goes, "Well, I would like to know that you're out in the woods doing this thing. I just want to know that your presence is there. I don't need to see you, but I just need to see you. I would need to know that you're there." I said, "Okay." So I started with the costume on. He goes, with the mask on. He goes, "Oh, okay." And anyway, he was so polite and so nice that, I mean, you know, we're there to support each other. But that's one story. Also, when we were doing the scene where I knocked him into the window and stuff, he wanted to do his own stunts. And, you know, okay, I'll knock you into the window, but going over the railing, I think the stunt guy should. I go, "But they won't see your face." He goes, "Oh, okay." As long as they weren't seeing his face, he didn't care. But he was really a gentleman. And Peter O'Toole, they approached him about doing a Paradell play in London. And he said, appreciate you thinking of me, but I think Donald Pleasant is the best actor for this. Matter of fact, I think he's the best actor in England, which is, something to say.
Woo!
So I wanted to ask a question of all of you, and Kathleen, if you could start. How is it to keep that level of intensity in a film like this? How draining is it? How hard is it to keep that fear level going, take after take after take in a movie like this?
Well, I always find that the best advice my mother, Abby Dalton, ever gave me was to pace yourself when you step onto a film set, right? Conserve your energy. And nothing is more proud.
What is costume by the book? What does that mean?
You know what? Nobody knows.
It's a secret and she's taking it to her grave.
Right. I think it's just probably a sign of the times, right? And because it's so antiquated now, it's definitely something that was scripted. So the writer, who's not here, but it was Kelly's wearing a T-shirt that says "Cops Do It by the Book." So it was created by the prop master, whose name was Bucky. Also put his name on the helmet of the guy that gets electrocuted. So his fingerprint was on quite a few things, but he used some stencil and just kind of ironed it on. And I didn't get to keep the shirt, but I do sell them at my table, although I've run out. But it's really fun to see people wear that. And the coolest thing was at Universal Studios, where they do the Halloween nights. They did a Halloween installation, and my character was hanging from the door wearing that shirt. So I felt like I really made it.
Woo!
Okay, lift your hands high, please. Right there. I see your hand. Right there, glasses. Go ahead, stand up.
Hi, what is your favorite memory working on Halloween 4?
Your favorite memory of working on Halloween 4?
Our love scene.
Yes.
He's thinking it, I'm going to say it.
Fireside of worse. You had to do.
Yeah, it was such a horrific moment. we really did go to high school together. He took my best friend to prom. I
Wow.
went up for prom, and I went with another friend. And when we saw that we were going to be working together, we were so thrilled because it takes so much of the awkwardness out of it. But we did get to the hotel, and you did say, because this was before the intimacy director or choreographer or coach.
Coordinator.
Talent scout. You said, we should work on this.
Oh!
Somebody said, let's rehearse. So we didn't go.
So we were rehearsing and like, what are we doing?
Well, we got some of the giggles out, is what we did. So it was a lot of fun. And yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Because, it was kind of PG, but kind of R at the same time. Especially because when the dad gets home, that just makes it sexier.
I like the scene where you spit the blood because it's like you're defiant, like I'm going out, screw you. That's a great scene. Okay, raise your hands high. There you go. Karen?
Yep. This is a question for Tom and Don. How does it feel being remembered for playing 3 iconic killers? Tom for Leatherface, Michael, and Jason, and Don for playing Santa Claus, the Fisherman, and Michael Myers.
And the fisherman.
Yep, Fisherman.
I get no recognition. Like I was a kid again. I mean, I'm just playing in somebody else's backyard. As fast as you want to go, as high as you want to jump off, they'll let you. It's just like being a kid. It's like, oh boy, I can show off. Okay. I get to drive a car as fast as I can. Dad's not going to yell at me. Most of the time, Tom can attest to this, that some of them don't get the recognition they should. They're less represented by the Screen Actors Guild than any other person there. But by seeing you people come out and knowing what we did, I mean, I haven't said, well, they don't care about the stuff. Well, you're proof that you do, okay? And without you, we wouldn't be here. And I gotta say, working on Halloween 5, I get to reminisce about things we did 30 years ago, you know? And it's the only show that I've been on where he just keeps on going. It's like Michael, you can't kill him. We're talking about doing the different characters. You don't know, I have no idea how blessed I am to have been able to do this, but I did the Jason, and at the time, I was sure this is just like, how are they going to make this happen? Because it's a new beginning. They already killed him enough, didn't they? I had no idea it was going to turn into anything like it was. And it was a lot of fun to be able to do this character. I didn't realize, you know, the impact it would have, and that there'd be people like yourself that would really, years and years later, want to talk to me about it. And when I was doing Jason, I was actually doubling Roy. My credit on the film was called Stunt Double for Roy, and for several years, I wasn't asked to conventions, and it was until somebody had mentioned it, well, this Double for Roy was the guy that was walking around with a mask, and all of a sudden people wanted to see me, and that was quite a deal for me to think that, you know, I'm Tom all week long and all year long, and then once in a while on a weekend I go to a convention and I'm Mr. Morgan. That's great. That's like that. To do Michael was a special treat. I shared that with George P. Wilbur, and I did the first part of the movie, so when the film was over, he had credit in the film. But like Don was saying, we're stunt guys, and our job is to make the actor look good, so we don't really get credit. You're the ones that say, I did Leatherface, and the reason I say that, I won't take credit for myself, because Bob Elmore was the stunt man who doubled for Leatherface and did all that action in the film. And on one day when I came to the set, I was just getting there because I was supposed to double for the radio manager and get killed by Leatherface, which I did. But when I got there, they had been doing that bridge scene all day long. Bob's arm was hurt because he's holding this chainsaw standing on the edge of a pickup truck trying to saw the top of a convertible while they're going backwards on the bridge. And his arm was hurt, and the coordinator says, hey, listen, Tom, we're going to do an IMO shot, just a getaway shot. Can you just jump into stuff and do that one take for us? I said, sure. So I did it. And that takes that long in the movie, and I don't really want to take credit for being Leatherface when Bob Elmore did the entire film with all the stunts and, of course, the actor himself. But if you say it, okay, I did 3. When you double somebody, you have to take on their persona. I mean, when I double somebody, I watch them, you know, one-handed, they drink the coffee with, if they're left-handed, if they're right-handed. Then a lot of films, I've had to double myself. Anyway, he came up to me, he goes, I think we have a problem. I go, well, what's the problem? Well, the editor says that Vic Ansel is a very good double for Don Shanks. Really? He goes, yeah, he says, you know, he thinks that you don't move like him, you don't do this. Yeah, I go, well, I don't know how else I can be Don Shanks. But sometimes, I mean, in Sound of Night and Italy, I did the thing where I drive up as one of the sheriffs and I fire the shots. I turn around and I take the squib hits as a priest, you know. The other guy gets an axe in the chest. I put the axe in, and then I turn around and get the axe in the chest. I've had to chase myself in cars. I doubled Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. The little fight scene. You can't tell it's him or me. You know, after he kicks me in the nuts a couple of times.
Okay, everybody.
And you gotta keep that intensity up. I mean, the only time when I let the intensity down when I'm driving home, I'm starting to feel that low, you know, from having so much adrenaline pumping. You know, but it's what we get hired for. That's why he's been in the business as long as he has. I've been in the business as long. You have to be able to do what you say you can do.
Right there, giving me tips. That's the tip. Okay. It was part of the intensity was the rehearsal process, and for that scene, the director Dominique had Miss Glenn and I up to his hotel room the night before we were supposed to shoot that scene, so we could block and choreograph. Now that's commonplace. We have what are called intimacy coordinators in television and film. But back then, with a French director who was saying, we have sex in the bar. So it was very important to Ms. Glenn and I to kind of make sure that we knew the roadmap for what we were going to shoot. We're both very young, and it was early in our careers, and there was a lot of nerves on both sides. And I think a little of that comes across in the film, and makes it a little more authentic. But she was, that was certainly an intense time. There was a lot of prosthetics with the chest involved. Don remembers how there was a malfunction.
And I feel so sorry for him. It took so long to put the appliance on. And we're getting ready to film, and it's like, oh God, my back is killing me, my back. And just as we start to film, it came loose. Another 3 hours. Oh, God, this guy's going to be hurt tomorrow. Because it's like this.
Yeah, leaning the top half of the
Cross-eyed,
body.
it's not like that, so it can pop out. So he has to be arched back with nothing holding.
Yeah, so Don would come over in between takes and use one finger to lift me up and just kind of hold me there. Yeah. But that's my story about the intensity.
For me, it was kind of easy because I was 11 years old. It was 4 in the morning, and this man was chasing me with a car. And that was all real. I was actually running in a field, and Don was actually driving the car. It was safe. We were far apart from each other. But like when that's happening, you don't have to act. Really, just run from that car.
The scream sounds so authentic.
Well, I have to say this about the cast. The cast was very supportive of everybody on the set. They would come out on their days off and be there to make sure that they were watching what we're doing, that they were involved with what we're doing, which I give them credit for. But originally, they wanted me to hit him with the car. I said, no. Put him on a bicycle. No, I'm not kidding. And what we did is what they call a beam splitter, where there's a mirror here, like 10 feet high, 10 feet across. He stood here, you could see him in the mirror, and I would drive into the mirror.
And if you look closely, you'll notice the big flaw in the movie that at one point, so they're filming the mirror. He drove through the mirror, and I'm running like 20 feet to the left of the mirror. So it looks like he's right behind me. And in a couple of the shots, they forgot to flip the image of the mirror. So if you look really closely when the car is coming at me, there's Michael's in the passenger seat. You know what I'm driving. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You can't unsee that, like, for a little bit, there ain't no one driving that car.
Thank you for coming. You're the best thing for us as far as building your ego back up. But without you fans, we wouldn't be here. And I want to thank you for being fans. All the black t-shirts out there. Thank you.
That brought Rob Zombie's vision to life and death in some cases. So make some noise for the cast of Rob Zombie's Halloween and Super Halloween 2. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Daniel Phillips. Sylvia Jeffries. Adam Weissman. Daniel Roebuck. And Ken Faroo. Maybe I can sit. I'll stand. I like the whole pastor analogy earlier.
Hey everybody.
Oh, and Dave. Everyone make some noise for Dave. So, Dig, let's start with you. Everybody, just go down the line and tell everybody what role you played in which of the two films. We'll start there.
Not a word. What?
Sorry I'm late, y'all.
Hi. I'll speak slower.
We can't understand you.
It's echoey.
Hey.
Okay, what part did everyone play is what he was asking.
I can't hear you either, so that's a good sign.
Always the mother.
Okay.
What part did you play?
Me?
There you go,
okay.
Dig.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Deg, aka Great Deg. I played young Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's 2007 Halloween.
And the wonderful Tyler Mane, everybody.
Hello, thank you so much. My name is Danny Roebuck, and in Halloween I am Lou Martini and then Big Lou. I own the strip club in 1 and 2.
My name is Adam Weissman. I got to play Steve, the boyfriend of Judith in Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Dear God. Hi, Dee Wallace. Thank you. And I play Cynthia Strode, the mom.
Jeff Daniel Phillips, Howard at the bar for Dan Roebuck, and Uncle Seymour Coffins.
Excuse me, I had to burp. I don't like a microphone. I'm Sylvia Jeffries, and I played the stripper Misty Dawn in the scene with these two guys in Halloween 2, and got to rip his face off.
My name is Ken Forey. I played Joe Grizzly. I think you guys know who I am.
So everybody up on this panel was killed by Michael Myers, obviously, except Dave and Tyler.
That's all I heard. What's the question?
If anyone who's working the audio can come up here and turn one of the monitors towards the guests. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, I did Devil's Rejects with Rob, and I worked with him for 4 days on that. It was the opening of the Devil's Rejects. And then he called me about a year or 2 years later, and he said, hey, I got this other movie. I want you to play Michael Myers in Halloween, and if you don't do it, I'm not going to do it. So that's how I got the role. And it was a fantastic opportunity and experience to kill most of these people up here. We had a lot of fun.
Oh, mine's a bit of a different.
If I just talk like this, is this better?
It's better, much better.
Alright, cool. So, when I got the audition, I'd already been acting for about like 7 years since I could basically start talking. I did a lot of plays and stuff. And I got an audition for a Rob Zombie's untitled Halloween project. Now see, I had just done a zombie project where I played a zombie called Frank's First Love. I played Frank and I fell in love. It's a fun little short film from the Orange County College chapter. So we kind of pushed it off, the audition, because I wasn't sure what it was. You know, we live in San Diego, so coming up and down, you know, we try to kill multiple birds with one stone. Eventually, I ended up catching the audition. I was surprised that I was even there because most of the kids in the room, in the waiting room, were like way shorter than me with short brown hair. So I'm like, they were hiring his character, I don't know. And then, yeah, I did an audition and I got it. And it really took me a couple conventions after the movie to realize, like, oh, this is like, kind of big. Like, so yeah, that's my coming into Halloween. Being the only horror icon in the rap game, what are we talking about?
Shit. Can you guys hear me better? I had him turn around the monitor. A little bit better? Okay, I'll go a little bit slower. So Daniel, you've been in incredible movies, with Tommy Lee Jones, The Fugitive, Final Destination, U.S. Marshals. Can you talk about a little bit what it's like to work with Rob Zombie, what kind of a director he is?
Rob Zombie, how many have seen him in concert? So, that's not how he directs. He's a very quiet, smart, studious, on top of a director. He likes when you ad-lib if you're in a comedy role, and maybe a dramatic role. Generally, he must wake up in the morning and think, I'd like to kill Dan Roebuck today. So he comes up with a movie in which he can have me murdered in some horrible manner. And then he cuts me out of movies after he puts me in them and murders me. I actually found out, this is a true story, he paid my father an undisclosed amount of money to cut me out of some of our home movies. I love working with him and getting the call, like Tyler was saying. When he calls, I think everyone here, when he calls, you're like, oh, yeah, please, because you know it's going to be fantastic. And that's a fact. You know whatever he's thinking is fantastic. And I'll let other people talk. I can come back later. But it's just joyful to be on the set with him and to work with him. It's a real pleasure.
Well, you brought up an interesting point about comedy, and some of my favorite horror movies include, a dark comedic element. You, I think Sylvia, Ken, Jeff, you guys all brought a little bit of comedy to your roles. Could you talk a little bit about some of your favorite movies that combine the two? For me, it's American Psycho.
Boogie Nights, is it a drama or a comedy? Like, life is filled with comic elements and moments, and so are these horror movies. Off the top of my head, I can only think of Rob's movies as really, but Eli Roth's movies are funny too, in a way. Anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jeff, any favorite movies that combine the two?
You could say Young Frankenstein. You could just go straight comedy when it comes to horror comedy. But he does definitely, going back to Rob, he has a dark comedic sense of humor, and I think that's where we kind of hit it off. He didn't know me. My first scene was with Tyler in the middle of the night. He was gonna stomp my head, and I met him, and he's very quiet. He was very into his thing. He had his method going on, and Rob didn't know me, and I go, hey, is it cool if I riff a little? And he just looked at me like he wanted to kill me. He goes, this guy's gonna be a pain in the ass. So he goes, just say my lines, and then we'll talk about that after. So I said his lines, and then I just started riffing. And then he said cut, and everybody started laughing, and then he goes, okay. And most of the stuff ended up in the film, so I think we kind of became buddies then, and we kind of know our sense of humor, and he's been very supportive.
And Sylvia, I mentioned to you backstage that I'm a big fan of your work in Eastbound and Down as well. Kenny fucking Powers. And could you tell us a little bit about your background as an actress and how you came about being involved with Eastbound and Halloween? South Carolina, if I remember correctly, you're from?
Yes. So I didn't come out of the closet about wanting to be an actor until I was 25. So I'll make it really quick. After college, I got accepted to law school and acting school at the same time. I decided to go to New York and be an actor, and my mom sobbed and said, "You're going to be poor forever." And I said, "Yeah, but I'll be happy, and I can always play a lawyer or whatever." So I went to New York, did that. After 9/11, Mom said, "Get your ass home." So I went back home to Charleston. Got an agent. Anyway, the Eastbound and Down thing is, I had just had a baby, and my casting director called and said, "You just had a baby, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Are you nursing?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Will you be topless on a jet ski?" And I said, "Will I keep my health insurance?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Of course." So I'll tell y'all a funny story really quick if I have a second. So for those of you who've seen Eastbound and Down, there's a scene where he throws me off in the first scene of the show, and we're on a jet ski and he throws me off. What had happened was I had just had my baby and I was nursing him, and I'm on the back of the jet ski, and he says, "Are you drinking something?" And I said, "No." He said, "There's something on my back." And I went, "Oh shit, Danny, I'm lactating." And he flips around and he says, "What?" And I said, "God damn it, Kenny, my tits are leaking." So he throws me off the jet ski. So that wasn't written, which was kind of fun. So that was the whole Eastbound and Down thing. And then, so after Eastbound and Down and other things I'd done, I just cut my hair off and dyed it black because I got tired of being the trashy girl. Well, then the casting director again said, "I want you to audition for this RZ project," much like Dag had done. And I said, "Okay." And he said, "But no, I went to audition for something else." And I walked in and he saw me and he said, "What happened to your hair?" And I said, "I cut it." "Well, it looks bad." And I said, "Okay." And he, "I want you to audition for this RZ project and you look terrible." And I said, what do you want me to do?" And he said, "Well, go get a wig." I said, "What do you want?" And he said, "Well, he's looking for a stripper." I said, "This RZ person can't find a stripper." "Well, he needs a stripper who can act." Okay, has he, whoever this person is, has he not been to Florida? Said, "Okay, really, what we need is a low rent stripper." Thank you, casting director. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I auditioned and got the job, and then when I showed up on set with my short black hair, Rob, the hair guy, took me to meet Rob when he was doing a scene when Danielle was getting killed, and he sees me, and the hair person says, "This is Sylvia, she's playing Misty Dawn." He says, "No, she's not." He says, "Yes, she is." "No, she's not." "Yes, she is." And he's like, "Fuck," and he threw his headset off because he was not happy, because he thought I was this stripper-like person, and that's how I got into Rob Zombie.
I've got a lot of respect for
I auditioned for that stripper role too, but I didn't get it.
There's a part 3 of you.
That's the short version.
Ken, obviously one of the most memorable roles from part 1 is Joe Grizzly. Everybody's gonna do it. Taco Burrito Supreme talking back at you. Can you tell us a little bit about that character and your fight with Tyler, which looked so badass in the bathroom?
Okay. I got a call. No, I'm sorry. I got a script, and it said Rob Zombie. And I'm a rhythm and blues guy, so I had no idea. I like music. I like good music wherever it's coming from. It doesn't matter, country, classical, whatever it is. It's good. I like it, whatever it is. But and rock. But I'm not, if you want to put me somewhere, it's kind of where I grew up in Motown, right? So I get the script. There's Rob Zombie. I look at it. I said, "This is so bad." So my agent calls me. I don't know. My agent calls me about a month later and said, "Did you read that script?" I said, "What script are you talking about?" He said, "The one that says Rob Zombie. It's from Rob Zombie called Devil's Rejects." I said, "That's real?" He said, "Yes, read it. They want to know if you're interested." So I read it, and I said, "Okay, pretty good characters, great writing, great dialogue, funny stuff." So Robert, I got in touch with him. I went down to meet him, spent 20 minutes in his office, talked. He said, "Okay, it's the deal." So went back, did Devil's Rejects. Calls me again after Rejects. And he says, "Ken, I got a part for you, but it's not a big part." I said, "How big, Rob?" He said, "Well, it's not that big, but I really like you to do it." So I looked at it. I said, "Oh my goodness. If this is in the bathroom, it's a trucker, he said, what's he doing here? What's going on?" And I saw there was a line there that what we have now is a failure to communicate. It's rather smart line playing Lou. I said, well, I can't resist this. I can say that line on the second person. Love struggles Martin. I think it was top notch for me as an actor and character. And then he gets his Tyler gets his haberdashery from me. Okay? And I said, okay. So I called Rob and said, okay, I'll do this. And I was getting ready, and I understand that Tyler is about 6'10", right, Tyler? 6'7"-ish, somewhere 6'8", somewhere. 6'10". 6'7". I'm just a little bit taller. Okay. I said he's a big guy, right? I said, okay, I'll get ready for the big guy. So I'm getting in shape, you know, I'm staying in pretty good shape, but I got, you know, I said I got to wrestle with this guy, so it's got to be, I want to make it real. And in my boxing around, I pivot and I twist my knee. So I go to the emergency room and they tell me, I said, listen, you know, I've been about 3 weeks, I've got to fight this guy that's about step 3. And I need you to fix this knee. Well, we can't fix it, Mr. Corey, you're just going to have to rest it. I said, no, you don't understand. I have to fight this guy. It's going to be a hell of a fight in the back. This guy about 7 foot. I need this knee fixed now. No, Mr. Corey, we're telling you, you have to rest it. I said, no, you don't understand. I'm in the emergency room for you to fix it. Do something else. Anyway, they call security. They threw me out of the hospital. And so I tried to rest. I taped it up, got on the set, and Rob, we were walking down the set between the honey wagons, and he said, Ken, when you walk in, I want you to go to the mirror, I want you to pirouette, and then come back to me and say, ooh, you pretty motherfucker. I said, Rob, I can't do that. He said, he looked at me and said, you hurt your knee, didn't you? You hear what I'm saying to you? He said, you didn't take a beat, you didn't look at me and said, you hurt your knee, didn't you? I said, yeah. He said, well, just do what you can. So, you know, I went in, and one of the famous jokes between Rob and myself is that he says, Ken, just go in there, say what you want to say, because let him know what you're going to say anyway. And it'll work. I said, okay. And so one of the ad-libs that has become as viral as the line and famous line in Dawn of the Dead, when there's, I never said the line, but you don't know. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. Was an ad-lib. The scene and us preparing for the scene, and then Rob watching it on his viewfinder, and then hearing me say, I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. He said, where did that come from? What was that? Did you see that? On Instagram? No, it was crazy. It was good. The show was setting it up, talking about it, we talking about, you know, you can swing it this way, and you talking about getting each other, helping each other, where we're going to go with the scene, and how we're going to physically make it happen. And then we go and we make it happen. And then when I say I'm Joe Grizzly bitch, right behind the viewfinder, like, where did he get that? As someone said, Rob is always someone who gives you, as an actor, he wants his material, he wants his line set, he wants you to carry the character, going to college, written it. But if you have something that you can offer, something happens in the scene, it's organic, and it works, he loves it like any other audience. So he's a great director in that sense. So I love to work with him. I love working with him. Love to work with him again. I think that's it. I took everybody taking up.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the line that people remember you for the most?
Babe, let's do it with the mask on.
Let's do it with the mask on. Was that an ad-lib? Was that?
That was, no. Rob is really creative and he inspires people to wear their original selves. And so it's just a metaphor, right? you should always have sex with your mask on. It's not. No, I mean, it's just, it's really cool to be part of a scene that incorporates the iconicism of the mask, and so to be able to like have a real reason for why it exists. My character in the original movie is like a 15-second part. It's just the kind of like you get introduced to the family and okay, he leaves and then Judith immediately dies. And so for Rob's vision to have like a real backstory, why we see Michael become the way he is, his first kills, why the mask exists, right? Like why do we have this William Shatner rip-off mask existing? And we get this real story. And so yeah, it's nice that we get a little comedy, I mean interjecting into it, like what you said earlier. It's nice that we get that mix of comedy along with horror, because what's the best way to get your defenses lowered? You have a good laugh, and then you get knifed through the forehead, right?
Absolutely. And can you tell us a little bit about how you got the role, and was it a long process or anything, or?
Not too long of a process. I, like a lot of us, did the standard audition. So I auditioned for Monica, the casting director, and there was a conversation about my hair, because at the time, I'm somebody who wears their hair mostly short, and they wanted the character to have very long hair. And so it was like, grow out your hair as long as you can, and it just looks really Jew-fro-y. It doesn't really look good. It looks really unattractive. I look kind of like an animal. It's not very fun. And so, I go to the audition, and it's like, that's fucking perfect. That's amazing. And so, just because of the reality of time, I couldn't get, like, the hair in the movie is like a 4-year, like, hair. And it's like, yeah, I wish I had that time. So it's made of real hair. And so it's about like, like all of us, we had quite the makeup processes. So my makeup process was like a 2.5-hour wig fitting every day. And then I had a beard at the time, but they would individually stick hairs on my beard to exaggerate it. And so that would be like a good 2.5-3 hours. Wow. So I'd be like, I can't do the scene, I have a makeup session. Sorry. And so, yeah, it was really fun to just really get into the look. And it's so funny, I have all these tattoos that you don't even see that like took a good 30 minutes to put on every day. And it's just because that's Rob's vision. He wants everything to be real. He wants everything to have that reality. And to what Ken said, and what Tyler said, and what Jeff said as well, once that reality was created, that's like our playroom. And so it's just like a big sandbox. We just get to have fun. And that's what we did. We got to play.
Sylvia?
I would like to talk about Rob Zombie and the hair situation. So, quickly, when I got to do the part, it said in there that I was going to be naked, and I thought, fine, whatever. But no one wants to see my lady bits, huge. So, stupid me thought, I'm gonna shave completely naked, and then it will be a rated X movie, right? I'm so stupid. Or they'll have to give me a stripper skirt. No, Rob likes hair. So I show up, and I'm naked, and in the were you in the makeup trailer then? No, for the hair? And so
You'd remember it.
So lots of times they'll have hair, hair on one side of the trailer and makeup in the same trailer, but on the other hair. So I get there, and the makeup gentleman, his name was Daniel Noe, N-O-E, and he's wonderful. And he said, okay, so Rob likes a full 70s bush, so we have that for you. And so I'm standing there like this, and I'm standing there, and I'm naked, right? And Daniel, sweet Daniel, is on his knees, and he's sewing. It's called a merkin. Yes, and he's sewing it, he's tucking it, and then his wife FaceTimes, and she's like, hi, honey, oh, hi, it's fine, I'm not flirting with you. So, anyway, so we're in 2009, the Three from Hell, he asked me, he said, do you still have the bush? And I said, well, if it's good enough for Rob Zombie, it's good enough for me. So that's my hair story. And anyone casting, I now have a full lady garden, because again, if it's good enough for Rob, it's good enough.
I have one comment on that. Mrs. Roebuck checks in while we're shooting this scene. How's it going? I go, it's interesting. This girl's completely naked. And my wife goes, what did you say? And I said, no, she's completely, she's so great. She's the nicest girl. You're on the set with a girl completely, yeah, but it's work. Click. You can't convince them it's hard.
No comment.
Oh,
No, just that thing is for sale at her table.
And if you would like a Sylvia Jeffries Merkin, they are available at your booth. Is that correct? $9.95. For me, horror movies are always more disturbing when you care about the characters, and there's a death of a character that you love and appreciate. And to me, one of the best actors who does that, who has that quality, is the lovely Dee Wallace. You always care about the character that you're playing because of what you bring to the role, and that can be said very much so for your portrayal of Cynthia Strode. Could you just talk a little bit about how you approach different roles and how you're able to bring that to life?
You know, I have a real simple acting method, thanks to my mentor, Charles Conrad. And I studied with Uta Hagen, I've studied with all the best people that teach a typical approach to acting, which is breaking down a script, studying it, where are you going to, where are you coming from, blah, blah, blah. I don't do any of that. Charles, when I found Charles, I found freedom as an actor. And it's just based on getting your energy through the roof high, and then throwing your energy, what he called throwing your energy, which I'm doing to all you right now. Can you feel it? Yeah. So now I'm gonna just talk and pull my energy back. I'm gonna look at you, but the connection's not there. And now I'm gonna connect with you again.
So that guy was a spellmaster, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. I mean, we saw so many miraculous things in class, but that's really how I work. And when you work like that, the character tells you. You don't figure anything out from up here. And it just worked really well with the way Rob works, because he works very in the moment, he works very quickly, my experience with him anyway, and very quickly. And all of that magic that happened between Scout Taylor Compton and myself, most of it was improv. Fucking the bagels was improv. You know, we had 3 cameras, so we could play a lot because we didn't have to worry about matching the shots so much. So, and the other thing that's really Rob is that he'll have you come in and you'll film something, and then 3 weeks later, he'll call you back. I know 3 weeks after I shot the scene going down the bookcase, the producers called and said, "We need you back." I said, "But I've already died." They said, "Yes, but Rob wants to kill you better." So we went back with the knife and the table and the glass and all that.
And was it true, and I didn't realize it when I first saw the film, that you actually had a cold when you got to the set?
Oh God, we were so sick. Both of us.
Yeah.
Scout and I both were running like 102 fever, you know, but the show must go on. So no wonder we were so loony, right? We were like out of it. We just had a ball.
You guys all did a fantastic job. Sort of lose yourself in the character, or is it just, you know, you go to work, put on the mask, go to work?
Well, my background is in professional wrestling, so I did that for 11 and a half years. So the thing that I would do is I'd try to have it look as vicious as it could be, but be in control to take care of these people, because I don't really want to hurt them. Except for Jeff when I... No,
You were so gentle with me.
Well, you know, I had to be, Dee, because you throw those damn books at me so hard. I was like, shit. I was just sitting there dodging books. Dee. But yeah, no, it's all about you have it look as vicious as you can, but stay in control and make it as aggressive as you can. And then as soon as you're done, you check and make sure everybody's okay. You know?
Well, you did an awesome job.
Thank you. I want to talk about Big Joe Grizzly Bitch here for a second. You know, I knew he had that hurt knee, and he goes, man, I want to make it look real. And I was like, oh, shit. Here we go. So the very first time, he came exploding out of that bathroom, just like those burritos out his ass. He hit me, and the floor was like, I don't know whether it was blood or something on the floor, and I slid backwards, and I'm like, oh, shit. Rob goes, cut. Can't you control this guy? So I called the props guys, and I said, you got any stickum? Remember, they sprayed it on the bottom of my shoes, and when he came, for the second time he opened out, we hit that brick wall, and then I go, here we go. In the mask, I said, here we go, we're going for a ride. And we backed into that toilet, we broke the toilet, we broke the wall, we broke everything. White! Yeah. and Rob's like, whoa, those breakaway toilets are great. And the guy goes, no, that's the real toilet. You're buying a whole new bathroom for these people.
Rob, the thing that really got me, this is, I didn't find out until later. Every time someone came on that set after we shot that, he would have them come over to his viewfinder and he'd say, look at this. And he would show our scene. That was every time someone came to the set. So he really loved that.
So we got go ahead.
For me, and maybe the others had the experience, when we finally did the kill, we reshot the kill, because we shot it one way in Atlanta, and then we shot it again, and made it much more spectacular. No matter what you think, your fantasy, how this could go, when I ran out of the room in Halloween 2, and Tyler was wearing a mask, and I didn't know when he was coming out of the room, so he just said, damn! And I turned around, and there was maybe 22 feet between us, and he hit me in about 2 steps. 1, 2, and I remember thinking, what the hell? Like it was completely real, because the cameras were, I didn't see any camera. All I saw was Michael Myers running at you, slam me. Oh my God. Anyway, we make these jokes, but he was very clear, other than maybe Jeff, did I hurt you? See, to us he said, did I hurt you? To Jeff he said, did I hurt you? See what I did there?
It was easy to work with him as a monster because he definitely scared the shit out of me. No doubt, he came with it, he brought it, man.
All right, guys, we have time for a few questions. You just gotta be loud and project. You in the front here?
Wow, I like the orange mask, the one that started it all off in the asylum.
I made that.
No, he didn't. And I also like the one at the end for the H2 where Malcolm rips the mask when I kill him. So yeah, I just like I love the whole transition from the mask from the beginning to the end.
The franchise before that, and did you like look back at those movies? And other than Sylvia, did anyone else have their urban like for sale?
Mine's for sale.
I can't answer mine.
That's a big
The mask matches the drapes.
Next question.
Maybe. You know, every great director knows what they want, and then they hire really good talent. And then they allow the talent to bring in their ideas. And both Mr. Spielberg and Mr. Zombie work that way. both of them, work really similarly in that way. So Stephen just had a shitload more money, but I wouldn't say any more creativity than Rob Zombie. They're both amazing.
Running the Red Shirt. So it was either in the first or second movie, but in the first movie, why did you wear the Kiss shirt when you were
Well, for one, Kiss is just a badass band. Two, I would assume that might be one of Rob's favorite bands.
Okay. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right here.
And I wanted to know, like, if you could share some directions that Rob gave you, since you were a kid and you had a transformation or becoming like Michael.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of people said, and this is what I tell people when people ask how it was working with Rob. Great director, one of my favorite types, because he will just let you improvise. And I love that. As an actor, that gives you your room for art. You know what I'm saying? Or else you're just a robot mannequin spitting the lines. Some directors will cut you if you forgot the word
Yep.
You feel me? I'm sure we've all been there. So working with him, it was just amazing. And like on that note, for example, the Malcolm McDowell and I scene where I'm just balling out, want to go, oh. He just pointed the camera at us and said, like, I need some more footage with both of y'all, so do something. You feel me? But other than that, it was really fun. I got bullied most of my life, and I feel like I took a lot of that and flipped it in a way, you know what I'm saying? But I'd also been acting already since I could speak and stuff like that with little plays in church and Shakespeare plays and stuff like that. So it was really just fun. It's also not every day you get paid to kill people and you don't have to live with killing anybody. Now that I'm an adult, I can do that again. I feel like it would be pretty therapeutic.
I feel like you and Tyler's portrayal was very in sync.
Yeah.
And did Rob talk to you guys all? Because you definitely move similarly to Tyler in a lot of the scenes. I don't know if that was an accident but it looked fantastic.
I did know. When I finished filming, I came home and told all my friends. I said, guys, I grow up to be Sabretooth. What's that word?
3D?
No,
Merkin?
she was talking. Yeah, it was all about those.
All about the Merkin.
I'm kidding.
Merkin 9 to 5, I think, was the working title.
About age 45.
Putting them on the spot, Jesus Christ.
It's been too long to just spit some shit about age 45. But what verse do I like? I'm like a metaphor. I'm like a metaphor running in a bank with a mask, hands up, guns out, and I'm ready to dance. Give me all your money, dummy into the bag. You girl, a little money, breaking a bag. All up on the dog with a couple of friends. Too good at this 5 of them. Started getting real funky and excited when one had a man who pulled up an event. So I pulled up my pants. I dipped in the joint. Dipped real fast. Got a joint. Tiptoe back. Bobby Dan. Play my tracks because he's a fan. Kinda feel bad, but I understand. That's the way the world works when you're in demand. I'm fresh. I'm fly like Peter Pan. Bring that foot back, dude. This ain't what
Do you prepare differently for a Rob Zombie horror movie as compared to a family-friendly film like The Monsters?
No.
I concur.
Indeed.
Michael in the front.
Hi, this question is kind of for the whole cast. What is the one thing you like or love about the character that you played in the first movie?
Murderer.
Strip club owner.
Bad in bed.
Badass mom.
An alcoholic horror show host.
Killer.
Jeff, you reminded me that you do play 2 roles in part 2. Is that correct? Could you tell us a little bit about that other role that was musical in nature?
I just finished my role, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing next week? Somebody bailed out." I go, "What am I supposed to do?" He said, "You're gonna be in front of a bunch of people telling jokes. You're a horror show host." Okay. Come back next week. And then he threw me up in front of 150 crazy fans, and he let me riff again. And some of it was written, and some of it I directed towards Malik, who, as you guys know, and Rob was he was almost crying laughing. I was just goofing on him, I was goofing on everybody, and then I fell off the stage drunk, and he liked it so much I ended up emceeing at his shows in New York and Los Angeles. So I mean, that's how he is. If you like something and he likes how you riff, he just keeps you going.
That is awesome,
He's very sweet.
My question is for you, Dave. You got this role when you were so young, and prior to that, did you have any experience playing such dark and sinister roles? And if not, how did you tap into that?
Like I said, I played a zombie right before that. And I played I was born in 95. Solid time to be born, I think. And shit was still like the early student films when I was working. I love that. A24 right now kind of brings that same vibe. That raw, just gritty. And I had done some where I went probably more depressed than scary. But yeah, no, like I said, I've just been doing it for so long. It's all so fun for me. One short film I did when I was really young, my mom's like, "All right, we're going to work." You feel me? We're on our way back home, and I'm like, "When are we going to work?" Just because this kind of shit, this is what I do. You feel me? So yeah.
Hey, by the way, we all have these stories, so come to our tables, and we got tons of them, all of us. So check us out after this for sure. Big facts.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Please stop by these fine actors' tables and pick up an autograph and carry on. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Hey, follow me on Instagram, Great Deck Official, and stream my music. It's everywhere besides SoundCloud. Thank you.
Where are we going, Cass? What panel? What panel is this?
The new Halloween.
2018 Kills and Ends.
Here we go.
This is incredible. I thought it was such a cool take, and I just thought it felt like David, come on board. It's been amazing. So.
You got to be in all 3. They failed to kill you, and you made a surprise comeback. What the hell? What is your secret to surviving Michael Myers?
You just got to figure out as you go.
But the real question is, did David tell you when you were making Halloween Kills? Did David tell you? But you're not really dead. Don't worry, you're gonna come back. Or was that a surprise to you as well?
Well, not at first. I think they had done the dailies or what have you. But sometime down the road, he called me up and he said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "What do you want me to be doing?" What are you gonna say? And he said, "You didn't actually die. The camera went off before you actually stopped breathing." I said, "Oh, really?" But he said nothing else. And the time went back, he said, he let me know that I was coming back, which was really cool because when I first did the Halloween, Dan McBride was out there on set and he said, "How did you like it?" I said, "Oh, I loved it." I said, "I appreciate you all not killing me off in the first 8 minutes because most of us go in the first 8 minutes." I was like, 5 to 8 minutes. 5 to 8 minutes. So I said, he said, "Yes, but you die in the sequel." And I'm thinking, oh, he's just joking. If you know Danny McBride, he's really funny. I'm thinking he's just joking. But it actually came to fruition. He said, "You have a tracheotomy." I said, "Oh." And so he said, "Just come and hang out with us and have some fun." I said, "I'm on my way." And I thought that it was amazing what he what he brings out in people. So he's a really awesome guy to work for and work with. So I love it. I love all of it. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, because I got to see my revenge.
Virginia, talk about trying to keep a straight face with that kid. And I don't know if I've ever laughed so hard at a Halloween movie when that kid just starts talking about his toenails for some reason.
It was all Julian. I mean, that kid is just hilarious, and he just kind of was given free rein to just like roast me. And so I'm just sitting there like he's just throwing every insult he could possibly think of at me, and then starts talking about clipping his toenails, and I mean, we were all just dying. Like he was just coming up with all of this stuff off the cuff, and you know, I credit Julian to making that seem what it is because he's just hilarious. It's great.
Now, for Michael and Carmela, you were in the 2018 film, and you didn't even have names. You were Sexy Nurse and Hunky Doctor. And
Hunky Doctor is a family name. Hunky Doctor Jr.
Did David tell you at the time, like, don't worry, like, this is going to be bigger, or was that a total surprise a couple years later to come back and actually get names?
David doesn't tell you things like that at all.
David doesn't tell you anything.
He doesn't tell you anything. Like, no, he doesn't tell you. No, he didn't tell us that at all. We didn't know. We didn't know we were coming back. We thought that was it. But I was just happy with sexy in front of anything. Sexy, whatever. I was just
Yeah, it wasn't until like the summer before that we started filming that they reached out and sort of asked, hey, do you want to do this? Come back and be in the movie. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then they're like, okay, great. And then didn't tell us what we were coming back to do. And so I was like, oh, they'll do like a flashback or something to, you know, our scene, or, you know, something like that. I was not sure what we were doing. And then they, and my wife the entire time, who's a big Halloween fan, is like, oh my God, if they're bringing me back, I think they're gonna kill you. And I was like, I don't know what they're bringing me back to do. I imagine it will be to kill me, because what else are we gonna be doing with us? And then finally they called and like, hey, you have to go to LA so that we can do prosthetics work, because they're gonna kill you. And I told my wife, and she just started screaming, yes! That's all I've ever wanted. And then, I was gonna say, I was on the plane to come out to get prosthetic fitted before I got the script. And then I was like in the airport reading it, and I was like, holy shit, like we're in this movie. Like it's not, I was expecting like a flashback. It was like, no, you're a character, it's in the movie. You have like names.
I didn't get my script until right before we were going to Wilmington to film. I just got it then. So right before you get your script, you get a whole bunch of other stuff, and you get NDAs and things like that. So like, this is a lot of stuff that I'm filling out prior to getting the script. Like I wouldn't fill all that out for a little tiny part, I don't think, right? So I'm just filling things out. But I almost like, they could have signed my life away. I would have never known because I was just trying to get to the script. So when I finally got to the script, I did just like Roman. I was like going through, my husband and I laid on the ground on the floor in our room. And I just kept going through it. I'm like, I'm still in it. I'm still in it. And I was like, oh shit, I'm getting in the car, I'm about to die. I'm still in it. I'm out the car. I was like so happy that I was still in it. But I just kept going and I was like, and I'm still in it, I'm still in it. And then I was like, I died, but I died so fucking awesome. Understand how they would do it, but they did it, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. Like, it's such a dream come true. And I love all of you guys for being here, and loving this franchise, and loving us. Thank you. Woo!
Now, for Robert, I guess this question works for Anthony too. The two of you play characters who were in the original film, but obviously not the same actors. Did you go back and look at that at all? Did you already know about it? Did you ever? The role in the first film.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't believe that I'm in this movie. And I just met him the other day, and this is our first convention for both of us, so it was just really kind of lovely.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I really do it. Well, echoing.
Yeah. what we see in the 2018 film, and it's your character that brings Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, back into the fold. I was just curious about shooting that first scene with her. What was that vibe like on set, or it was the first time anyone was seeing Laurie Strode in so long?
Gosh, it was wild. It was an interesting day. It was a bit chilly outside, I remember, and we came into that room and it just felt so authentic. I mean, she really brings that energy to the set. I forgot immediately that it was Jamie Lee Curtis. It was Laurie. It was quite easy to do the interview. I was thinking, I've got to get a good angle on this podcast, guys. I mean, ultimately wanted them to face each other. And, I mean, yeah, of course, it's a little exploitative, but that would have been a great podcast. And, yeah, that was obviously a bad move.
Since we have Mr. Nelson here with us, for those of you who were blessed to be the victims of his work, I was just curious, what was that process like for you? Was that the first time that you had done something, or at least that extensive? And Chris, talk about working with those that you did. Who was the biggest pain in the ass? No, who was the? It was you.
Stays there. It bleeds and bleeds and bleeds. You fall down. She comes, pulls it out, which is a really hard thing to do. And David likes to do everything all in one take. You know, so it's like no recess. They were all fun. Divas was amazing with the light bulb in your neck, which was that was in the script. David's idea was like, oh, stab her in the neck with a light bulb. Like, that's weird. Okay. And so that was a tricky gag to do. I mean, they're all pretty tricky. I think my favorite is stabbing him in the eye with the knife. That was one of my favorites. But they were all fun. Everyone was great. And everybody that I tortured on those movies, there was nobody there that wasn't 100% behind it and into it.
For those who, we have a scary around. We were actually just talking about the effects work that Chris did. So perfect time for you to come in because I believe you're the first to play Michael 3 times. I don't think we've ever had that before. Talk about the makeup process.
I really consider Chris to be a co-creator with this character. The magic he created in the mask. And the first time I put it on, he paid me a lot of money, by the way. No, he definitely is a co-creator in this process because, and you know, first of all, he created that mask, all 3 masks. And the first time we put the mask on, Chris had come in from LA, had a tube mask in Halliburton. We all went back to the back room. The very first time Chris applied that mask to my face, which has to be applied to my face, everybody in the room collectively just had this guttural moan. I mean, it was incredible. And then every morning, whether it was 6 in the morning or 6 at night, we would spend in makeup. And Chris, intuitively, he'd look at the call sheet for the next day, and he would intuit what music we should listen to, and it was always just absolutely perfect to set the tone for what we were going to do that day. And the part of the creative process in creating this character is sitting in Chris's chair and doing all the beautiful work that he did, because it's a very nuanced character. It's a nuanced piece. And so, truly, Chris is a co-creator with this character, and I'm super, super honored to have been a part of that process.
I obviously haven't read it yet. I'm kind of a slow reader, but I just picked this up from the table over there from Abby Bernstein's book about the series that they put together, covering all 3 films. And there's a real sense of community And you see the same folks and the pictures throughout all three films, which is the series never really had before. They're always kind of hitting the reset button. They're always, there's always a lot of cast and crew turnover. And I'm just curious, just going down the road, if you got a sense of that community while you're making the film, whether you're only in one of them or if you worked on all three.
Absolutely, this was definitely a labor of love for everybody involved.
There's not much more I can add. Everything you guys said, it all comes down to David. This is the only job I've ever done where I showed up every day off I had. I wanted to be there every day. Everyone was amazing, truly. Yeah, it's not every day you're gonna do that. So found a new family, and they're mine forever.
I've been in this business since the 80s. I have never walked away from a project with so many honest to God good friends.
Yeah.
That's it. And we have genuine friendships. And I don't have to pay anybody to be my friend, man. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't cuss, did I? Okay.
Well, all I can say is I am amazed and feel amazing to be a part of Halloween franchise. And it is true, you come to work and you do the work, but you walk away with so many friends and so many people that maybe you would normally not have an opportunity to meet. And then a lot of these people I've seen on screen before I ever came on and never thought that I'd be working with them. I'm honored. In the same way that I'm honored to see all the real faces coming out to support and show love, mad love. And I'd be remiss if I did not mention this. As you can see, all of us in human form, we are here to entertain you. And that's not something. And what we have hearts beating. So our heart and our soul is into it, and what we give you is coming from that place. And that's something that artificial intelligence cannot do. When they try to bring artificial intelligence, you say, hell no.
Anthony, I think we need to hear you say that one.
Yes.
Everybody all together now. And I saw those fucking memes, Santa flies tonight, pumpkin pies tonight. I loved all that shit. I thought it was hilarious. Okay? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Eagle!
Night!
Eagle!
Night!
Eagle!
Night!
I was wondering, is it exhausting for you guys? Because it seemed like it was more than you bargained for usually. Like usually you're kind of hanging out, you're watching TV and Michael kills you. But you guys had to run around the whole city, screaming at the top of your lungs, swinging baseball bats.
It felt like you guys were screaming that for weeks.
Not only did we run around, but I ran around in red heels. Like listen, my feet were so balled up by the end of this thing, it was like ridiculous. Like my toes were bloody. Like my legs were bloody from falling when I fell. Like it was rough, but it was a labor of love. Like I've never been on a set where we had to do so many hours, so I didn't know that we really did those many hours. I thought everyone was joking. But no, we really did those many hours. No, I don't even remember when we did practice. We were practicing, and like Kyle was asking, what time did we leave? And they were like, she's like 5, and they were like, why are you like around 8, 7? I was like, who's 7, 8? And at night, like, what's happening on Wednesday? Like, I really was trying to get a gauge, but not ask, because I didn't want to like make it seem like I didn't know, so I was trying to act like I knew. But when we were there, I found out. Like we were really there all night long, all day, night. It was crazy.
Our movie is probably easily one of the most intense of the Halloween movies, and it is a zero. It is a 9 to 10 the whole movie. Because it's very rare in this franchise for a movie to pick up directly where the last movie ended and to continue the events of to continue the same events. So for our movie to start where Halloween 2018 ends and then to just not stop is it was a very exhausting shoot. Yeah.
I can tell you one thing about when Michael and I were in the park discovering the bodies was he took me aside and told me something very personal about his father, and I shared something about mine, and we were both bawling. And so that kernel, I just had to draw on that the whole night, and I would be horrified and burst into tears. And so Michael really gave me a gift. He really did there. But I wish I had a goddamn murder on screen.
Yeah, I remember it being night shoots, and as everybody spoke of, we just had a great, wonderful vibe on set. And then, as Chris mentioned earlier, it starts from the top down with David and Danny, and those guys are just cool. And the crew is cool. We had a really good experience, and it wasn't even that long of a shoot. I think it was like 5 or 6 weeks, but everybody just, threw down and did their thing and had a good time. And again, I just want to shout out the audience, because without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So thank you again.
That's a quiet moment in that movie, is, hey, we discovered 2 bodies. 3 bodies, sorry.
I just want to say something quick and then I'm done. This movie has been such a gift. I'm ashamed about crying because I always cry. I'm a tough one though. I'm a tough one. But it has been a gift from the beginning to end. But I just want to say this right now. And I said this to him earlier, Anthony Michael Hall is here. Like, that's Anthony Michael Hall. Like, I don't know if you guys know who that is. Like, that's an icon. And not only am I sitting here with Anthony Michael Hall, I was talking to him earlier, like, this is my fucking friend. Like, and not only that, like, Robert Longstreet is, like, amazing. And, like, and call them my family too, and sit across from Dick Borlaug and watch his line, and like, I'm across from Dick Borlaug, and then for people to tell me like, we'll see you in 5 years, I'm like, man, like this is crazy. Like you just don't understand. Like I was just Carmela who was watching Halloween just like you guys, and like I'm in it, and this is just every day. Every day I figure out something else about this that makes me be like, wow. Like I was working with Danny McBride, like I was working with David Gordon Green, like I was in a movie with Jamie Lee Curtis. Like none of that can ever be taken away from me. Like you guys are like fans of the franchise and like are like part of me now and a part of us. And like no one can take that away from any of us. And like this is just an amazing experience. I want to thank you.
I do want to turn it over to you guys for a few questions. Your hand shot up so fast, you must have been. Yes, sir.
I see like elements of Christine in the movie. Going into it, did they tell you like that's like the angle that they were going for? This like translation character in the beginning, it's kind of reserved, has like glasses on, and then it's kind of like how Arnie and Christine turn into like bad. So is that like a thing that they were doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, who knows the mind of David Gordon Green? But he kind of gave me like a bunch of homework. So the homework was just a bunch of movies, and Christine was actually the first one on there, which like obviously was a huge inspiration for the movie. And then there was some weird ones like Willard. I don't know if anybody saw Willard. Willard. But yeah, so I would, when we were doing prep, David production office, and we'd all watch a movie together. And I agree, Christine was one of those. Christine's one of my favorite movies. To be honest with you, that was kind of a gift that David gave me. I hadn't seen Christine, and he was like, "You gotta see Christine because there's gonna be some of that." Yeah, I remember. I think I was in your office picking out glasses. I think. Yeah, it was your office, and yeah, we had Christine in our head for sure. Yeah, man.
Yes, you do. If you didn't hear us just ask about keeping a secret, Roman's role in the film, and hiding it from the press and everything.
I mean, most of this process just felt like a cruel joke because I was like, this can't really be happening. Even from casting and moving forward. I remember reading the script and just being blown away, and David's sort of honesty of how much it meant to him that this would be a surprise. To your question about how it felt when I first read it, I stood up to read the script because I was so hyped on adrenaline. I was like, what? No way! Yeah, we do that together. That's something pretty visceral that I'll hold on to for the rest of my life. There's something pretty incredible. Look at Michael Myers in the eyes with his hand around your throat and being at the mercy and really believing that. I think there's something really special about being an actor that when you get to have that experience on set, it's yours forever, real for you as well. And that was definitely for you. That's what it meant. Yeah.
Favorite part of the script? Favorite part that maybe wasn't in the script, something that was ad-libbed?
There's so many David ad-libs, it's crazy. He's so fast. Like chocolate milk, he's like, it's my special drink, it's for me. And he just kept he's like, say it's my special drink. And then do a hiccup. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? And then I came out the room and Ryan Church was like in a ball in his chair, just crying, laughing. Yeah, and he's a really special guy, David.
And David will let you improv. He let me say, how do you like this sassy tackle?
The entirety of the stuff that we did at the bar, once we meet with you and Nancy and all that stuff, all of that was improvised. And I remember David sort of pulling me aside on set that day and being like, hey, we're not going to do any of the lines today. Just sort of start improvising. And I was like, okay. And then I wandered over to David and we were all like, hey, sir, I have to improvise with you. Is that okay? so timid, I'm like, oh no, sorry.
David told me the line was, it was opposite. And then David came to me right before we were about to shoot and changed it with me, but didn't tell me to tell him. So when we came around the car, all of us together, we were ready to go fight. And I was like, I'm a doctor, my husband's a nurse. And I was like, and he was like, yeah, that's it. Right? David did that on purpose. He does stuff like that on purpose.
Can I tell you and everyone here that I didn't register the difference? And so it wasn't until I saw the movie that I was like, oh. Didn't register.
You have one of the most iconic kill scenes in the entire franchise. That bathroom scene is brutal.
Woo! Thank you.
Honestly, it's still blowing my mind. That day was my first day of filming, and so I was thrown straight into the deep end. I hadn't practiced any screaming. I didn't know what sound was going to come out. I squeak. I prepared David. I said, I really don't know how I haven't screamed since I was a child. I don't know what this is going to be like. So bear with me. He's like, you'll be fine. All right, fine, I'll go for it. And then, of course, as soon as you saw this, the art department went to town at the gas station bathroom. It was hideous. It didn't smell, but the visuals, if you know where I'm going with this, may as well. And so it's all fun and games, just walking into the cube, going about my business, and then of course you have bloody James. It's terrifying. I was traumatized. It was all very real. And I have to say, it is an honor and a privilege that my character, Dana Haynes, and Aaron Corey, it's a weird thing to say, but I'm very, very honored to have stoked that fire to release the boogeyman energy so that this trilogy could, come to the end. And yeah, well, right, it was very, very special.
I had to fight this bitch. She was not giving it up, man.
No, we had a secret handshake, and we said, we're just going to go for it, right? We're just going to do it.
She did. I actually ended up with a cut in my head because she yanked me. I was trying to pull her leg, and she yanked me so freaking hard, I drove my hand into the toilet paper container. And we had blood pouring down my face, and we had to glue it shut so I could keep working. And you wonder why I killed her.
You only get to play it once. Give it your best shot.
Killing stuff. Firefighters, how many kills? I want to ask, how difficult was that to do?
Okay, you're asking about the firefighters killed. It was brutal. Absolutely brutal. We were fighting in inches of mud. I mean, everything about it, the fire there, the guys that Aaron brought on, the stuntmen that I was fighting were incredibly talented. Precision is all, this could possibly be. The police the firefighting captain for the local precinct wanted, or the local hook and ladder wanted to be the guy who used the hose. And so he's like, yeah, go ahead. Well, the guy, we had it worked out perfectly. He hits me in the chest. Dude hit me right in the nuts. And it hurt. My voice went up about 3 octaves, but I was good. So I said, dude, just bring it up a little higher. We're good. Dude hit me in the nuts again. And then he saved the day and hit me in the chest. But man, it was incredibly brutal. And you have to understand, when we're working with fire like that, fire has a mind of its own. It's incredibly dangerous. I was wearing 2 Nomex suits soaked in fire retardant gel. When I walked through the house, I had to close my eyes and I couldn't breathe. I counted the steps to the front of the house, and then I counted the steps to the end of the porch. If I'd opened my eyes, I'd have burnt my eyes, and I'd breathe, and I'd have burnt my lungs and throat. So, the precision and all the support, all the firefighters and all the take care of the incredible, the mask. We had to use a separate mask that was specially treated that Chris had created for, to handle that kind of heat. So if it looked badass, trust me, man, being in the middle of it was badass. Tracking shot. Okay, so we rehearsed that for an entire day or a night, and David. Nobody believed that we could get it in one take. So David thought we were going to have to stitch it together with CGI. We did 9 takes, and the incredible thing is, in doing a tracking shot like that, is we use marks. We have marks on the ground when we're acting, so we know marks to hit. But there were so many marks to hit on that tracking shot. And we couldn't put marks on the ground because we'd see them when the camera is moving. And I can't see out of the freaking mask. But Stewie, the Steadicam operator, is a very, very good athlete. And there's something for anybody who's been in any athletic endeavor, or if you've ever played in a band, whenever you do something as a group, you have this sort of subliminal communication. Once you've done it together long enough, I don't need to look to pass the basketball. I don't need to look if we're all of a sudden going to do a chord change and just jump into another tune right away. I had that connection with Stewie like right off the bat, and so I think it was like the 7th or 8th take, and David does this. He went, "We got it!" And he just ran across and jumped up. I mean, he's half my size. He jumped up in my arms and hugged me like a baby. And sure enough, man, we freaking nailed it. Is the beauty of David Gordon Green. I think one of his greatest gifts is casting, is hiring, production crew, hiring. I mean, he brings in the most talented people, not only for the gifts that they bring to that particular department, but in their ability to work with other people in a cohesive force. So the exponential of what David Gordon Green creates is just through the roof, and that's why that shot worked.
I was also super excited just to be brought on to do the movie at all, but then when I found out that that was the scene that we got to be in, getting to work on like a oneer in the center of this incredible movie, a oneer that helps establish Michael Myers as a character, and getting to meet and work with Jim and meet and work with Carmela on that, like one of the coolest nights ever. It was very cool. Yes, it was. Yeah, we were great. But like, yeah, and it's all like Jim said, it's all about precision. It's all about timing. It's all about like everything has to work. Everything has to go perfectly on every end to get that down.
Thank you for bringing us specifically all here together. Of course, would be Mr. Sean Clark. who's also You can't hear, I know you can. You'll figure it out in a second. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
They did this for me yesterday on my birthday, and they're in the 78 panel. They don't need to sing happy birthday to me again.
Dude, you're a day over.
I appreciate it. Just the thank you is great enough. Let these guys talk. You don't want to hear me.
Let's just do the last 2 words. To you.
They got me pies. I'm a pie guy. But where's that cake going to be where they can get a piece? Well, they can't go in the green room. Yeah, walk up and grab a chunk or something. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Rest up. You're going to be back in 5 years for Halloween 50. Everybody come back for Halloween 50? Yeah. We can talk for a couple more real quick ones. Yes.
All 3 movies I saw like twice in the theater. The last one I saw fucking 3 times. I broke as shit, but like I love what you guys did. Like every actor on here is like 100% just amazing. And the third one, fucking great. So I just want to say thank you.
Dude, I want to thank you again. Just let you know we really enjoyed taking every motherfucker's last time. I was so happy to know that you went without a meal for a week to watch it.
Quickly for Rowan and for James, can you please tell me with your famous tussle where Corey got the best of Michael, what vibe was, what vibe were they?
Oh, dude, like, can I tell you something? Go ahead.
The lead up to this, just to clarify, it was another one of those things where it had to be absolutely perfect, and that freaked me out enough, and then you could tell them what happened.
Okay, so let me tell you, because the camera angle is so low, they put a pad, but it's not a pad. It's about 1 inch on a concrete, right? It's the hard rubber on concrete. I pulled a concussion out of that one. I pulled a concussion out of that one. I've had concussions. I know exactly what they feel like. It's a spike in the middle of the brain, then you get a halo. I think that was on the first one. And then, I can't remember which one it was. Well, why I have concussions. We kept trying to get it right, and this dude's strong, man. This dude's strong, and so we're trying to get it exactly right, and it was hurting, man. Dude, I'm not 26 anymore. I'm 66, right? And I feel like I'm a good athlete, but your body just doesn't recover the way, you know what I mean? And Rowan would jack me up and then, throw me down. We didn't get right, and finally, my body at one point just pussied out. My body went, fuck you, Jim, I am not doing this. So Rowan went to throw me, and I just rolled out of it like a martial artist would, instead of being picked up and thrown down. And the next time I went to Rowan, I said, dude, jack me up, man. Jack me the fuck up. Like, get me up there and slam me down. And this dude jacked me, man, and just body slammed me. And we heard David go, we got it!
I heard your entire spine. And if you watch the movie on that tape, there's a moment where he hits the ground, and I go, and then I grab the mask and dip, because I was legit like, I think I just broke James. Because you came up to me, you smacked me on the back of your head, you were like, throw me. And yeah, we did it.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
My breath left when you hit the ground.
My breath left too.
Yeah, that was
Sort of having a Kardashian on the screen with here. The whole film on so yes, you guys are gonna kill a housewife.
I almost killed a whole fucking bunch of them. They would not shut the fuck up. Every time I leave the video film, Real Housewife deaths. Sorry, Mike, jump ahead.
We're announcing that the next Halloween movie is about killing all the housewives. Back to their tables. Big round of applause for our panel.
Oh, thank you. Wow. Woo!
Acrobats. What the hell? This is so cool. Thank you, Dr. Ruff. I just rolled over and was like,
Alright, so the panel just ended for Halloween 2018 trilogy. I'm in line to meet Rowan Campbell, and then after me and Cass are getting in line to go to the John Carpenter panel. That's people are already in line right now outside, so I'm really excited. Oh my god, cannot wait.
All right, where are we?
We're in line, about to enter the room. We're going to see John Carpenter for Halloween 45 Years of Terror Convention. I can't believe it. This is once in a lifetime thing. This is, oh my god. I'm just, John Carpenter. John Carpenter. All right. Wow.
gentlemen, Malika Khan. Malik took over from his dad, Mustafa, and has carried the Halloween. So how many people are from outside the United States? Anybody from England? New York.
Montreal.
Philadelphia!
Philadelphia!
So what do you guys have any questions for us? We have somebody to ask us questions.
I'll just let you know, Nick's on his way.
Woo!
This is the opening act. Enjoy a little bit of comedy first. Thank you all for coming to this wonderful, wonderful event. Look at the crowd here. So wait, I'm going to sit down because here we go. So we're going to have some fun today. First of all, we're going to spend a lot of time with your questions and statements and threats to John Carpenter and Malik.
Don't encourage that.
What's that?
Don't encourage that.
Don't encourage that. That's true. We don't want to do that. There may be some literal people out there. Why don't you tell the audience how you and I know each other? Wow, that's a good start because it's both a Nick Castle and John Carpenter story. In the fall of 1967, 68, we met at an Ivy League school called the University of Southern California. Right here in, not too far away. Here. I had to come all the way from Westwood, California. He had to come from Kentucky. Bowling Green, Kentucky. And we both were students at the film school there. And of course, you know, you start off and you just meet each other and you have fun and you do these little pictures. John and I eventually decided, well, let's make an Academy Award winning short, which we did, called The Resurrection of Bronco Billy, along with two other classmates. Got the award, literally got an award out of film school. It was the first time that had ever been done by students. So in 1970. So that's where we met. We did projects together. We wrote songs together for our movies. John, what was your what's the first movie you did? Do you remember what you did in film school? I did a movie called Lady Madonna. Lady Madonna. And what was that about? What was what? What was that about? It was about bullshit. No good. No good. Now you're really really, Nick and I have known each other for a long time. He co-wrote Escape from New York with me. And we're gonna make Halloween, and I asked him to play the Shape.
Biggie Smalls wanted to do a sample of John's great soundtrack. And I said, I can't do this without talking with the man. Is it okay with him? I call him up, and he immediately could tell I was nervous. I said, Malik, you sound nervous. I said, yeah, I'm talking to my idol. Anyway.
That's bullshit. I've never heard
And I said,
I never got a dime from me.
you certainly did. And he said to me, are they sending you a check? I said, yeah, quite a big one. He said, do it.
Okay, I have a question for you three girls in the front row, right over there. Where are you from? I'm from Florida. Wow, whereabouts?
Ocala, Florida. We know there's a show there, right? Spookala. And I will be there.
What about you? Wow. Oh, very good, very good. Here comes Nancy Lewis.
Let's see. That's a good question, though. You know, I've met people from. Yell out. Who's been here from the furthest away? I know there was South Korea. Right there. Australia. Who's Australia? Back there. New Zealand. Okay. Germany. Anybody from Germany or France? Argentina. A lot of people from Britain, right? Yeah, there you go. So, and that's not even, Florida is pretty far away when you think about that as well. But it's amazing the family that this brings together, right? Internationally. So, do we have a question?
You got a question?
Well, first off, I wanted to say to Nancy, from a fellow CPP graduate, go Broncos, and then go Broncos. I'm from CPP, go Broncos. Anyway, my question is for John. He's spoken about how Rio Bravo was a huge influence on Assault on Precinct 13, and I was wondering if there were any films from the golden age of Hollywood, not even necessarily horror, that influenced him while he was making Halloween.
That did what with Halloween? I can't tell what you said.
Influence what you did with Halloween. It doesn't necessarily have to be horror.
Not that I can remember. I remember there was a movie called, what was it? The Innocents had a shot that inspired me, but that was it. That was from the 60s. Sorry. However, in Assault on Precinct 13, here's another thing just right next to me, ladies and gentlemen.
Cal Poly is awesome.
Is that right?
So, John, did the shot from the Hitchcock picture that did the long shot, did that influence the first shot in Halloween? You know, Touch of Evil.
I don't know. I don't remember.
It might. It was kind of a show-off shot.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Now, you know, Nick is a big-time director in his own right. Have you guys ever heard of The Last Starfighter? Oh, yeah! Have you ever heard of Major Payne? Yep! He's big time. So, any other questions for us, guys?
I was going to ask one, if I could. Can you talk about any stories that you have of working with Deborah Hill on talk about working with Deborah Hill on the film and any stories that you can share about working with her?
Well, Deborah was my script supervisor on Assault on Precinct 13, and then she became a producer. She co-wrote the script with me. We worked very closely together. And I'm very, very proud of what she did. She was a female producer in an era when there weren't any. She Hi guys over there, what's happening?
So when we wrote together for Escape from New York, we would sit around, come up with ideas. He already had the first draft of the script, and then he'd go along and go type it up. With you and Deborah, how did that work? Was it the same dynamic? You guys would get together in a room, come up with ideas, and then you would go do the
wrote part of Escape from New York, supposedly. He's a great writer and a great director. And I just saw some of yours on Turning Classic Movies, Tap. I don't know if you guys are
We
familiar.
don't have tap dancing conventions quite like this, do we?
All right, anybody else?
Got another one right here.
My question is for John. My question is for you is, how tight was the budget from the original Halloween?
How tight was it? 300 and some odd thousand. A lot of that was
Well, first of all, thank you, John, for coming. You all. Obviously, as a big fan of the Halloween franchise, I wanted to know, like, if you could share some ideas or how you created this character, along with Nick, ideas of the performance, the movement that you did in the first movie, this iconic character that lived throughout the whole franchise. And as we were listening to some other actors that were playing also Michael Myers, they were all saying that they saw you, this iconic character, could say movements and things like that. So I wanted to know if it was improvisation, it was ideas that you brought us in the character. Thank you.
I think I understood you. In most monster movies, the bad guy, the monster, walks like a monster. You know. And I mean, Nick walks just like a normal person. He's very still. You watch. Because Michael Myers' character is not exactly a character. He's somewhere between human and supernatural. So he, hi there. Hi, sweetie.
Oh, I'm waiting my turn. You gotta go.
No, that's all right. Okay, it's all right. So, that was it. Just be still. But Nick had an actual crazy wall, which he's since lost.
That's true. Very true.
What's up, young lady?
Oh, is it my turn? Okay. Is there still an echo, or is it okay?
What's that? You're good.
Okay. So you were talking about going to film school. I'm in film school right now, and I make horror movies. And when I talk about that, everybody's eyes kind of glaze over. But I think horror is so important. And I wanted to ask you what you wish people understood about horror, or why the genre of horror is so misunderstood.
First of all, where do you go to film school?
UCLA.
That's all right.
I know USC, so I just.
Well, horror has been with cinema ever since the beginning. And every generation comes along and reinvents it. Look at Jordan Peele, or I think that's it. UFO guy. Look at his works. So he's taken it to another place. And that's what
Yeah, that's great.
Calling PJ Souls.
Somebody over there, round up PJ, please. Bring her over here. Thank you, doll. Next question. Come on.
Hi, sorry, I'm shaking. I just wanted to say, just as a comment generally, I'm a huge fan. I grew up with Halloween. My family is a huge fan. They couldn't come here today, and I'm a huge fan of the thing. So you can see, I'm dressed up as Clark. I just wanted to say, and I'm glad that Tommy Lee Wallace came for this question as well. I wanted to ask, since Halloween was meant to be an anthology film, was there any plans aside from Season of the Witch? Like, was there any scripts, any even just ideas about what would happen next?
We never quite got that far. Halloween 3 was perceived at the time as a failure, and the appetite for an anthology kind of went away. It's still a bajillion-dollar idea, so if you've got a lot of money, that's fine.
Where are you from?
I'm a Riverside area. You wouldn't know the town though.
Speak up.
I'm in Canyon Lake, Menifee area. Basically the Midwest of California, you know.
How old were you when you saw Halloween?
Oh God, 14?
How old?
I think 14, yeah.
You're too young. What's wrong with your parents?
I found now from this convention the record youngest person that said they saw Halloween. Before it was like 5 years old. Someone came up to me, you made me hear it, stand up and say, 3 months old. I was 3 months old. No one remembers anything. I do. Where are you? Yes, sir.
Well, John, Tommy, Nancy, Nick, and even Malik, I just first wanted to say thank you guys for making what this franchise is today. And I didn't think I'd be standing here talking to you guys today, so thank you. Somebody who got inspired by Halloween, it inspired me to get into film myself and pursue acting. But I guess I wanted to ask you, did you, from the start that Halloween 1978 began filming, did you guys foresee that it would expand into a major franchise and become what it is today, bringing all these
We knew all along.
Had no clue. No clue. No clue. We didn't know what was going to happen. We just wanted to make a movie. And I think.
And if you have questions, feel free to come through the lineup back here, and we'll hopefully be able to get to you.
We're having a tough time understanding you guys.
The acoustics are weird in here, so it all sounds like you're speaking Russian. So,
How about trying without a mic? Just really loud, that's all. Try it. First of all, Thanks for having us here. We had one. Tommy worked on it with me called El Diablo. Made it a TV movie. And made another one. And no one's ever heard of those. And if anybody wants to hire me to produce, if you've got a bunch of money, I'll do it. No problem whatsoever.
I would submit that Big Trouble in Little China is a Western. It actually started out life as a Western, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Let's just have one segue here because it's the idea that John might actually direct again is confirmed in the fact that he has a new TV series coming out. First episode. Why did you bring this up? Well, I thought I'd share it.
Yeah, there's this TV deal I did, and it's interesting. It was remote directing. I was in my front row, and the cast and crew was in Prague. But I had hooked up to my television. I could see through the camera, through my TV set, and talk to everybody through a laptop. And it went great. 5 days. Yeah. I woke up, fell out of bed, grabbed some coffee, action.
That's one of your rules. Never leave the house unless you have to. I remember you told me.
PJ has one of my rules for living successful. You guys know what they are? I bet you know.
That was the first one. I think you said don't ever eat fish.
Yeah, that's it. Don't ever leave the house unless absolutely necessary. Don't eat fish. Don't travel south of the border.
Don't try to what?
Don't travel south of the border.
Oh, that's...
Wait a minute. You produced a movie called,
I wasn't there.
called Vampires Los Muertos. You sent me down there.
Those are John's rules, not your rules.
And that kid is a big star.
Yeah, Diego Luna.
Maybe on the park, but thank you for that question.
While Nancy's near the microphone, I'll steer this back to Halloween by asking her if she remembers the night we shot the old house and the big one shot at the beginning and all that. Because I'll tell a little secret. We were so exhausted after we finished. We were both deeply involved in this movie, as you can imagine, on several different levels. We just went upstairs and crashed in that little bed and spent the night. Didn't go home until the next day.
You were married.
Oh, I should explain. We were going together. Eventually got married and had 2 great children and are still friends.
PJ at the time was big time. She'd been in Carrie. had a pretty good time on Halloween together. And that was the big thing. We had a blast, actually. And that was the most fun I've ever had making a movie, ever. And it was awesome. Yeah, it got worse from there. Anyway, other questions from the audience? Absolutely.
I just want to say that Big Trouble in Little China is one of my favorites of all time.
Thank you.
Woo! What is like a fun little anecdote that came from filming that?
A fun little anecdote. Well, I sent him up to San Francisco to shoot second unit. That was fun for me.
It was actually fun for me too. Just to back up a step, I want to compliment you, John. You were hitting your stride. That was your third feature Halloween, and you were getting into your own style, and you ran a fun set. You were easy and loose and fun to work with.
Well, thank you very much. Hey man, what's up? Thank you. Do you know who the guy at the end is?
Still waiting for my beer.
What do you want to do? Anything. Hold it down, young man. Figure out what it is you really want. Most of all, do you want to direct, you want to write, you want to act, what do you want to do? And then once you have it, go right at it real hard, okay? But learn your craft, no matter what. Do you have any suggestions?
Read a lot of books, go to a lot of plays, get ready, and if you're serious about it, be ready to load Cokes into coolers for a little while. Get to know some people that make movies. That's one way.
Hey man, what's up? What's happening? Yeah.
This is it.
What we're having trouble with?
Yeah, speak up just a little more.
Scoop to Bill reunion? Well,
You got our album cover already.
gee, I don't know.
We don't rehearse very often.
You know, we've been talking about, and it's just talk, is re-recording our album now. Waiting to be 80, will be called. We're all old. I don't think we'll be singing now, if that's what you're looking for.
It's always AI. Just kidding.
Thanks, man. Yeah, didn't ABBA do something like that? Or they, as a matter of fact, yeah. And they have computers that make a little film. That's what it is.
That's all I meant.
But you know, the voices are exactly the way they were written. And there's guys heard the album, new ABBA album? Oh, what's wrong with you?
ABBA, what's ABBA?
I'm not talking to you anymore, pal.
Yeah, I teach academic classes primarily in the theater department at Cal Poly Pomona, and this is going on my 14th year.
Wow.
Students know who you are. Your students know who you are.
Some of them, yeah. I don't let them. We don't talk about me in class. Because there's so much else to know. But, yeah, I just got a raise, which is really great. But I love teaching, and I love the students so much, and really keeps me going. So I'm really
Thank you for coming, and we really enjoy being here as much as you enjoy coming, and it's so wonderful that you keep the legacy of Halloween alive and well.
What'd you think?
It's amazing.
You saw John Carpenter.
You asked him a question. I'm sorry.
You saw John Carpenter.
I know.
Oh my God. That's the last panel too. We got through it.
I know.
We did it, Cass.
We did it.
We did it.
How do you feel?
Really good. Love you.
I love you.
Hey,
How
how
you
you
been,
doing? I got to ask John Carpenter a question.
Yeah.
Were you in there?
No, not in the auditorium, but over here, he sat at this table for like 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And I was talking to him. Nobody else was talking to him but me.
Whoa.
He was like talking to like other celebrities who were coming by, drinking his coffee. And I was like, "You're really good at making movies." He's like, "Thank you so much, thank you." And I got it on video.
No shit.
And then Nick Castle came down and sat with him, and I'm like, "Wait, are you two from the same hometown?" He's like, "Yeah, we're both from Bowling Green, Kentucky." He's like, "Ha, gotcha. I'm from Los Angeles." That's what Nick said. And he's like, "No, me and Tommy are from the same hometown in Kentucky."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, gotcha."
Wow.
You just had to
Well, that's awesome.
And then we were all just standing in front of the table, and they're like, "If you guys are claiming to be true friends, clear out to give somebody else some room in the front." And I'm like, "Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
move up, everybody." You know,
You're like-
because we were just standing there, like, you know, what are we doing? Let's give other people a chance to see this guy.
Oh, John's there now.
There right now.
Oh.
Hey, Cass.
Hey.
So we met John Carpenter in a way. We met John Carpenter. I met
met
John
him.
Carpenter. Yeah,
You got to
you
talk
got
to
to see him
Yeah.
live. I got to ask him a question. PJ Souls was up there. Nick Castle was up there. Nancy Loomis.
How'd it
I
feel?
wanted to ask him a million questions, of course, but I could only ask one. And I wanted to know what the experience was like with the new movies, with the music. Because John Carpenter scored the new 3 movies, so I wanted to know like what that process was. So I thought it was worth the question.
How'd it feel asking? Were you shaking?
I think I handled it pretty well. For
Yeah, you did.
The most iconic filmmaker of the horror, horror films. I mean, without John Carpenter, this wouldn't exist.
Thank you, John.
Everybody went all around the world, and they were asking John Carpenter, like, who came from this country? Who came from this country? Who's from here? And it was just cool. He made an appearance. I mean, that's a big deal. He's never been to any of these conventions. And
He only answered like 10 questions, and Ryan was one of them.
See Daniel Harris at both Halloween 4 panel or the remake, but I feel like John Carpenter being here was like
Made up for it.
Made up for it.
Yep.
Yeah. And he was sitting with Nick Castle and Nancy Loomis.
Yep. The
Kinda weird
OGs.
Jamie Lee Curtis not being there.
Whatever.
You know, but
Everyone else was.
It was amazing. I'll never forget this.
Maybe when she hears that John was here, she'll come to the 50th.
You never know for the 50th. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well,
So
it's been.
we're gonna be here in 5 years. We're coming
Yep,
back.
we're coming back. It's been real.
What was your favorite memory, Cass?
I'd say favorite memory was having my cigarette lit by.
Well, like a cod, yeah. You got to talk to him.
I think,
You
yeah.
got to say hi.
I would say meeting Daniel Harris was another big moment. And just how cool everyone was. Like, this was like a little family, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Bus tour was great, you know. That felt like I was in a movie.
It was like everything. Yeah, the
whole convention was my favorite. The after
party
was
last
great.
night was so fun.
Saw, Deg
Yeah,
performing
Dag
after-
was
or
playing
Dag,
outside
yeah.
last night. Yeah. Me and Cass got a lot of photos.
Meeting the cast organically without bombarding them. They just approach people, you know. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yep.
All right. 5 years
All
from now, we'll see
right.
you then.
Well, yeah. All right. Let me get the shot one more time. Okay. All right. Love you, Cass.
Love you.
That's it. 3 days of Halloween, 45 years of Terror Convention. All right, so this is Cassidy unchaining the gate to where we're staying right now.
AKA our new house.
Yeah, our new house that we want to live in so bad. We don't want to leave. There's our wristbands. Age 45.
Yep.
Your wristband. My wristband. So yeah, me and Cass, we're back at the Airbnb after going to the convention. 3 days. I'll never forget it. It was emotional throughout the weekend, and could even been more emotional. But I think because this was my first experience in California, ever being in California, Pasadena, a horror movie convention, anything like that. It was just so a lot of it was very numbing. So it's a lot of mixed emotions and stuff. But yeah, we're back.